All right, guys, I've got the 2024 BMW S1000 Single R in the garage right now, and I'm installing velocity stacks for you today. A lot of people have been asking questions about how to remove the funnels, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. All right, first up here, we're going to remove the top cover. That's going to be 3 bolts here, both all T25. Shorter shoulder bolts here to the back. Longer shoulder bolt to the front. After that, you just kind of pick up from the side, rip up, out. Next up, you're going to pull off the seat. That's going to be a T25 to the rear of the seat. Pulls right out. Now we're going to pull off those 2 side fenders here, T25 to the front and T25 to the rear. I guess you call these tank huggers. They're all the same size, by the way. And you want to remove the rear right here. This kind of pulls out and up. Then you push it forward, comes out. Then you want to pull out these breather lines from the tank, one on this side, and there's one on the other side. Now, both sides of the tank, you have a 13mm bolt, or sorry, a nut with washer. You want to make sure to pull this out carefully because sometimes it just kind of falls into the bike. Make sure it doesn't do that. And sometimes this is stuck. This one is not. But if it does get stuck, I just kind of knock it a little bit with that, and it'll kind of break it loose from the rubber and pull it out. At the rear of the tank here, we have a 10mm bolt. Pulls right out. And we have one T25 right here to the front holding the ECU to the bike. This has a washer on it that loves to fall away, so make sure you're careful when you're pulling it out. Pull the washer out with it, and you can dislodge the ECU now. Okay, now the tank's free, we're gonna pick her up. I'm kind of an old pro at this, so you wanna kind of lay it the side. There you go, just holds right there on the side, just like that. If you're not able to do something like this, just get a partner, and then you can work underneath the tank here. Under here is really easy, it's just a white clip. You push it, pull, a couple drops will come out. On the other side here, we've got the clip for the tank. These are for the fuel pump. And then for the level sensor, then you just pick and pull the tank right up. So now we have the tank off. This does look like a lot of work, but honestly, it's just a ECU, a couple of little bits of the wiring harness that pulls off, and then we're right there at the airbox where we need to be for these stacks. Real simple, just follow my step-by-step guide here. So we gotta get rid of the main harness here, or not get rid of it, we have to move it. So we have to go ahead and get rid of a lot of these zip ties. There's one right there, just make sure you don't clip the harness, of course. All right, so here you wanna go ahead and remove the connector for the purge valve. We're going to remove the connector here at the side that looks like an injector, but it's not an injector. And then remove all the injectors. Now you want to pull up on the clip, jiggle a little bit and pull. Do not be too crazy with it because these are important pieces right here that you don't want to pull the wire out of because it's an injector. All those come out, and you can see this piece right over here does not match. So you can see there's an orange connector and a black connector. That's how you know. Also, the way the harness lays, it's pretty easy to not mess that up. Then you can see this is the connector I pulled out of here. And we pulled the line right at the top of this. All right, now we're gonna start pulling out the bolts for the wiring harness here. They're black T20s. One here, there's one in the center here. One right over here to the side. One down here. And there's 2 on this harness over here. I'd pull out the right side first. And the left side is a bit at an angle, so you're gonna have to really kind of get in there. Be slow with it, pull it up, comes right out. And now you can see the harness will start moving. We just have the IET to remove right here. IET comes out, the harness moves out of the way just like that. We don't remove anything else. This is exactly how it comes out. Now we've pulled the harness out of the way, let's go ahead and get the injectors out, the upper and shower head injectors as you call them. I pull these out. They're kind of hard to get at, these ones, except for this one's actually easy to get to. So usually what I'll use is a magnet to pull them out. You don't need to use a magnet, but it makes it easy. Now that those are out, the injector rail, we pulled out. You see it pulls out right there. I would leave them back in though, just nice and loose, because you can see there's a fitting down here, and this fitting is a piece of plastic and it holds all your fuel. So that's what you don't want to mess up. I haven't messed one of these up yet, but I have seen reports of customers pulling this or breaking it. And then you gotta wait for a new one and it's leaking fuel. So instead of worrying about that, just be as gentle as you can and careful with the upper rail here. Okay guys, so now we have the crankcase breather down here. There's a couple things we gotta do for this. Now, what I'm gonna have to do is, it's a very odd clamp. You can't just hit it like this, it's not gonna come out. You have to hit it from an angle. So I'm gonna try to get this where the top of the clamp is like this and the bottom is down there. See how it pulls out just like that. And then when you wanna put it back together again, you literally just push it together and it comes together again. Now, I'm gonna push this to the side, And what we're gonna do here is push this. See how it loosened up a little bit right there? That's all we wanna do for right now, because when we pull the airbox out, it's gonna drip oil, because this is a crankcase breather. That's what it's designed to do, which means it pushes air through this into the box and kind of saturates the box. That's normal. What it's supposed to do, that's what it's designed to do. So don't freak out if there's a little bit of oil there. But we're gonna move on to the next step before we even bother with that. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of housekeeping here. We're gonna pull off the line here, the breather in here for this one. And I kind of just put these away here because these are gonna stay on top of the airbox, and we gotta remember that. This one over here stays at the bottom of the airbox. So we're gonna take this one and move it down here, and then I'm gonna pull this out. And this is just gonna sit at the bottom as well. So now we got the box bare at this point. We just have 4 bolts holding it down. There's gonna be 2 at the top here and 2 at the bottom here. We have 2 T30s at the side of the airbox here. They are washered. When you pull them out, you're also gonna have this. This piece will just yank right out. Now remember, this piece sandwiches between the frame and the airbox, okay? Frame and airbox right there. Now we're gonna pull out this line for the pair valve. That pulls right out. Then we have 2 T40s right here at the bottom of the airbox. Now, keep in mind these T40s, they're easy to remove if you do it exactly the way that I'm describing here. But keep in mind also that when you're putting the airbox back into the motorcycle, these black ones have to go in first. So you know you pulled out the silver ones first, these black ones went in second, these have to go in first when you put the airbox back in. The reason for that is these will cross thread like you wouldn't imagine unless you put them in first before locking in the top. All right, so now we're ready to pull the airbox actually off this thing. Now we're gonna go ahead and push this out. So I pull it out right there. I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna try to remove any kind of oil that's already in there. You can see there's a little bit of oil that's getting on there. Now I'm gonna pull this thing up as fast as I can after pulling the top injectors out. Of course, don't pull it out with the top injectors in. And it comes right out. You see a little bit of drips of oil right there. It's a little bit saturated. And you can see a little bit of oil got here, but because I did it fast, not a whole lot of oil got on the motor. Just gonna kind of pick up a little bit of drips, which is actually, we did really well on this. Not a whole lot of oil coming out of here. Now, while you're here, you wanna remember, do not push on these. It may be cool to go see your valves or whatever, but don't push on this unless you have a GS911 tool and you're ready to do a throttle valve reset, because as soon as you push this in, your throttle's not gonna work anymore. So don't do that. So now here, we're gonna remove the front of the airbox. 2 tabs, one here, one here. This is how we remove the air filter, pulls right up. And you can see the OEM filter comes right out right there. You can see the OEM filter right here. You can't really see anything through that. This is the DNA filter. You can see a little bit more through that. So it has a little more air that comes through it, but also provides great filtration. So that's what we're replacing right there. And that's gonna go back in the bike. And you can see the DNA has a very, very tight fit. Nothing getting through. I know some air filters, there's a little bit of space in here that lets dust through, and that's why it gets dirty in there. But this one is a great tight fit. Now, the reason we're doing an air filter today is because we are adding velocity stacks to the motorcycle, which demand more air, more than the OEM filter can provide. We always recommend with velocity stacks an air filter change to a performance filter. We recommend OEM filters if you aren't doing anything in the airbox, meaning it's a stock airbox, you're not doing velocity stacks, you can go ahead and keep a stock filter. So in the airbox here, I'm just gonna wrap a little paper towel. It's a shop paper towel right here. And I'm just gonna zip tie it up on there, so I don't have to worry about, while I'm angling this thing, oil dripping out of it at all. That's all it needs. So here's what everyone gets usually confused on with these stacks, specifically on the single R and XR airboxes, because these funnels do not move up and down like you see on the S1000R, for example. They are static funnels, so you can't really remove these. They're rubber, right? But it's hard to get in there. What are you supposed to do with these stacks? Well, we remove these funnels completely. We're gonna have to cut them out of the bike, basically. So now we got the airbox down here. We're gonna have to remove these stacks. So little by little, I've got these long pliers, basically. I'm just gonna kind of break the funnels out. Looks like there's like 3 layers to this thing, so 3 levels you have to break out. Now they're starting to move a little bit. That's good. You have to keep messing with these things and keep breaking them until they actually come out. And eventually, they start falling out of the whole thing right there. You see? They start coming out one by one, so that's what we want. Because it's going to take a lot of braking. There we go. All of them are out of the airbox now. Now, of course, you want to clean these little bits up in here that are broken. So we're going to clean all that up a little bit, but this is going to be your savior right here. This is a vice grip, and it is a long angled plier. You can get these on Amazon, made by Irwin. This is the best tool you're going to use to get in there and kind of just break things out. Now I've got it cleaned up as far as that goes, but you can see there's a little bit of debris in here. You want to make sure all of that debris gets out of the airbox because this goes straight into your motor. So make sure you have to vacuum it up, towel it up with wet cloth, whatever you got to do. Get every little piece of plastic out of this airbox though. Now that we got the funnels out, we can go ahead and pull out the actual velocity stacks. So you can see right here, the stock one, there's no bell into it whatsoever compared to ours. So it's not going to really make any power if you just pull out those funnels. I mean, it'll make more power than stock, but it's definitely not going to make as much, even close to as much power as the BT Moto stacks. But we're just going to pull all 4 of these rubber ones out of here. Okay, so on our velocity stacks here from BT, you can see there's a ring here. You just kind of pull it up a little bit with a flathead, and the whole ring comes out. That separates, and now we're going to go ahead and install it onto the bike, into the airbox. It should be a nice tight fit just like that. You push in from one side, there we go, and you just kind of roll it on. That's one in. And also just to let you guys know, we did have some issues with leaking oil or oil getting past this because like I said before, the airbox loves to leak oil. So what we did here is we put a little a rubber washer on the stack itself. So it kind of alleviates the issue of oil getting between the billet stack and the airbox itself. So these, if you don't have them, we give them to you for free, and all of our new stacks have these already on them. All right, now we've got the stacks in there. You can see all 4 of them all clipped in. They are very sturdy. They barely even move at all. I mean, they're extremely in there. That's the best way to describe that, I guess. Now we're gonna take the air filter, stick her back into the airbox, and the holder for it, right there and there. It'll click, and now we have a completed airbox. Now we're gonna go ahead and pull this line off. We're gonna take this over to the bike. I'm gonna run this down through there, and you'll see this will sit right on top of the airbox. Oh, before I do this, actually, I wanna let you guys know, these rubber pieces right here, they pull right off the airbox, and sometimes when you pull it off, the airbox off the bike, these will get stuck in there like that. Make sure you don't lose these. It's a gasket, so just make sure you put that back on there, make sure both of them are on there. Now we're gonna go ahead and slide these on here. And you'll see this kind of falls right into place. That's it. Fell right in, and it doesn't even move anymore. It's stuck. It's perfect. Now that we have this back on here, everything comes back together just like it came apart. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting the stacks alone. Make sure you get that BT Moto flash, because otherwise it's not going to be good for the motorcycle to run the stacks without any kind of tuning whatsoever. But once you get the tuning, maximize it for it, you're getting 20 wheel horsepower up top. It's an insane mod to do on this bike. So that's going to do it for our install on the S1000R. Again, this is just like the XR. When you get the tank off and the fairings off, of course, it's going to be a little bit different than the single R versus the XR. But once you get down to the airbox, everything's exactly the same, including pulling the velocity stacks or pulling the funnels out and then adding the velocity stacks. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.